Hi, good evening. Welcome to Art Tarot. Thanks for tuning in. I hope everything is working fine for you. And again, Happy New Year. So today I would like to talk about the monthly prediction of the employment situation in the United States in 2024. So as same as the last time, the format will be how our government sees it and then how we see it as the collective and how foreign government sees it. Because as always, the government sees things maybe quite differently from the collective and from the people. So yeah, we need to know more about it. And as we know how the government sees the situation, we will know more how they will react in the future. So that's why I put this in such a format. So I know not everybody does that, but that's how I do it. I hope you can understand the situation and the meaning of it. Yeah. January 2024, United States 2024, January. Monthly employment situation. The job market. So, this month, the US government sees the employment as Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles means reflecting to the past and waiting. So probably it's the government sees employers are waiting and weighing in and thinking about pondering whether to employ more or not. Because there are definitely some things that are hindering people from hiring. Because they need to wait for something to come up. Probably some analysis of the market, or well, I don't know much about the business world and how it runs, but probably they're waiting for some numbers and they have to analyze things. So it is not a month of expansion. So how we, the collective, sees it. The hangman. Hangman is, it means lagging behind, and also it can mean sacrifice. So the new employment might disappoint some people. I mean the numbers. The foreign government sees it as Nine of Cups. So this is quite interesting because Nine of Cups, it means happiness and wish coming true. So why wish coming true? Is it because the US is not doing that great and then they feel like they win the game in the employment sector? The The bottom card is the sun. The sun is about clarity. It's about something coming to light. Like we know what happens now. Something like that. So right now, I want to see of feelings and emotions furthermore. So now I want to talk about the emotions and feelings about the situation. How the US government feels about the employment situation of this country this month. How it feels. How the US collective feels about the employment situation. How the foreign government feels. How they feel. Are they happy or are they not happy? On a personal level, how the foreign governments feels. Do they feel happy? Not happy? So, it's interesting. The US government feels like it's Four of Swords is about something quite peaceful, and they don't feel too much about it. Probably because, as you can see in the picture, outside the window, there are actually two persons. One older person helping the younger person. So somebody outside the room, outside of our area, they're actually helping the poor. So what I can think about is, I think the US government, they can be actually more focused on something outside, but not too much about inside. So inside they feel like it's okay, even though it might be stagnated, but it's okay because there are things outside of the country they have to take care about. So if I talk about emotions, I don't think they have too much emotions now because the government feels like, okay, this can wait. But something out there, those have to be done now. So Seven of Swords at the bottom, it means leaving something behind, missing something, or necessary sacrificing. So I feel like the employment numbers and employment sector, it is not the focus of at least the government right now, because there are important things that they have to take care of outside of the country. So how we as the US collective will feel about is the Fool. The Fool is the unknown. We don't know everything about the situation, and we feel like, well, what's next? Because we don't know. It's a wild card, so there are lots of uncertainties, and but it's also possible that there are new beginnings, because the Fool card is the beginning of the entire tarot deck. So we can also expect new beginning. So but also because of the new beginning paired with the Hangman. So I think there are many people who are actually reflecting on matters about employment. Like, have they been doing not that great in regards to past employment situation? Like, were they hiring the wrong people? Were they hiring the right ones? So I've like people gonna think about it, and they don't want to do the mistake again. So definitely is a time for reflection and also new beginnings. But there are uncertainties waiting to be resolved. Probably need to wait for some numbers. But the full card can also be something out of the blue. So even though there is a possibility of new beginnings, we probably don't have the grip on things yet. So we have to wait and see. So how the foreign country feels about our situation. So Six of Pentacles is about generosity. Generosity, when it is generosity, it can mean the government giving assistance to the poor. Something is not very equal. Maybe there is an unemployment number that is being prominent in the news. So they see it and then they feel like, oh, probably it's a sign of weakness. So I just wonder if unemployment actually would rise a little bit this month. Let me see. Why the Six of Pentacles? Is the Six of Pentacles about the foreign governments seeing the US government giving assistance to the poor citizens? Or is it about something else? Can be both. So what is the Star card about? It's waiting. It's waiting for a recovery. Weighing in the options, making a decision. Temperance. I think the US government might be seen as making a compromise and experimenting options to tackle the employment situation. But at the same time, I think the US government is also trying to renew something, but it has to make a choice. Knight of Cups, romantic energy, ideology, artistic, something not very grounded. Why the Star card and the Two of Wands? What do they represent? Ace of Swords. Is it about funding for the wars? The wars of fighting? Something else? Something else? Since the Sun card, it happened at the beginning. It was at the bottom, so now it shows up as something else. So there is a decision. Page of Wands, work, employment. So the government is gaining clarity about the employment situation. We probably will know about it because Hangman, the Fool, they are major arcana. So I would say there will be impacts on us on a personal level, and we can feel about it. And the foreign governments, they will see the U.S. government as helping the citizens to get through this kind of employment stagnation and employment problems. So Star card and the Two of Wands, they are weighing the options to take some action in healing the situation. And the healing of the employment situation involves compromise, involves experiment. Temperance, it means compromise, experiment, justice, agreement, rebalancing. So overall, in January, I think the US employment situation is undergoing a period of readjusting, rebalancing, and there are things that the employers are very concerned about because they don't have all the clues yet. And the government is actually doing things to help. However, is that their focus? I don't think so. Because minor arcanas in the government position, even though they have plans in place for the employment, however, that's not their main focus. Looks like our main focus, but is not the main focus of the US government. Okay, so now let us look at February. February 2024 US monthly employment situation. So this month the US government definitely feels like there are some things that they would celebrate about the employment situation. And for us, the US collective, is Two of Cups, means we feel like, okay, things come into balance and come into harmony. So we get cooperation between employers and employees, and in general, employment situation is in balance. So foreign government position, they see the employment situation in the US is Four of Pentacles, rock solid. It also means power. But Four of Pentacles, even though it means stability, there's also a downside because it's more about maintaining. But if we are looking forward to some growth and expansion, we need more than Four of Pentacles. But doesn't mean that Four of Pentacles is not good, because we need a rock solid foundation to bring in more things into the future development. Judgment, it means announcement, revival. So probably something doesn't look good in January, but it's going to at least look better next month. Why the Three of Cups for the US government? Why the Two of Cups for us, the US collective? Why the Four of Pentacles for foreign governments? How they see it? Okay. It's kind of interesting. So, for our government, they see it. They see the employment situation is getting help, giving assistance. So, I do believe that if there are measures of assistance from government fundings or government policy that is being announced in January, probably because of something or some numbers that are not looking so well in January or previous months, and the policy will actually kick in, and in February, the US public will see the effect of the policy change. Six of Cups can also mean the past. So probably the government sees it as something they experienced before. Like in January, maybe the numbers are not so good and the employment thing maybe is kind of not so good. But in February, they just feel like, oh, okay, we have been through it before, and then we have the experience and we know how to tackle it. And for the public, for the US public, will feel like, oh, there's help, there's cooperation, and magician means new beginning and resourcefulness. So probably within our own country, within our industries, within the country, there is a new cycle going on. Because magician is about, well, the downside is it can be kind of trickster energy, like trying to figure out something out of nowhere. And I think we actually need to be kind of cautious, because I remember last time when I was doing the financial reading, I also see magician. So I'm thinking maybe about the US currency, or maybe there is a policy change in order to boost the economy, trying to make something out of nothing and try to use a very, magician energy to make it look well. I think it is, we have to be cautious. I'm not saying everything would be bad, because Two of Cups is a very auspicious dynamics, because there is harmony. But the magician energy is kind of, I would give it a 50-50. We need to know what the magician is about, because from the foreign government perspective, you see, within our country, things are like kind of magical and positive, but outside, they see it as Eight of Swords. So it's different from how we see ourselves and how they see us. Because Eight of Swords is about limitations and about fear. And when it's paired with Four of Pentacles, it means there is fear, there are limitations that are not allowing someone who is very resourcefulness to expand their horizon to new territories in regards to employment. So the others can see our fear and limitations, but we don't feel too much about ourselves. So this has to be cautious. Wheel of Fortune means something bad going to be better, or something looks pretty good will turn bad. So it is also, we need to be cautious. So for some reason I would like to dive into the magician energy. I would like to know, is the magician's energy about a government policy, something else? So I think Seven of Pentacles, because in January, Seven of Pentacles is in the government position. And now it is linked to the magician energy. So, and paired with King of Pentacles, I would say it is about business decisions made by the government. And there are policies that are related to them, to the business community. In January, the government is still waiting for something to happen. But in February, they will take action to turn something into a magic. And it's definitely related to the business world. I'm not gonna talk about the Queen of Swords and Ten of Wands over here, because sometimes I will omit some of the cards because I'm trying to point towards the energy that is directly related to what we're concerning. So those, I'm not going to talk about those. So strength, and I hope you can understand what I mean, because I'm trying to figure out the magician energy, and I know the Seven of Pentacles is linked to the previous month in a government position. So now they are just acting as confirmation. So, and these two, they can be omitted because they are not pointing towards that direction. You see what I mean? The strength card at the bottom means taming the beast. So I think there is a situation about employment which is kind of risky, and the government is trying to focus on taming it, to taming the situation, to stabilize it, not to let it explode, something like that. Yeah. But there are limitations, so we have to understand about it. I sort of feel like I want to pick the card for us as the collective, how we should navigate through February, the employment situation, because there is a magician, and I just don't know if it's a good thing. Well, maybe I should ask about, is the magician a good thing or not a good thing? Well, the magician energy is about the Five of Wands and Ten of Pentacles. So, Ten of Pentacles is about prosperity, definitely money and large money. And Five of Wands means there is a conflict. Can be conflict of wages, salary. What's the short-term effect of the Magician? Short-term, long-term. Okay, the Magician energy will be something very quick, very swift. It happens quickly. So why I feel like in January and February, there will be a quick shift of energies in regards to the US employment situation. The short term is Seven of Wands. So Seven of Wands can mean opposition, but it can also mean the need to defend ourselves. And the long term will be Six of Swords. Six of Swords means a period of healing and recovery. But I do feel like there is also a risk of outsourcing things from the country because it's going towards that side, to the east. So I feel like in the short term, the Magician energy will be more like a self-defense thing, but in the long run, it will be more like a healing and or maybe the Magician energy actually creates something that needs healing afterwards. On the other hand, then there might be a consequence that will lead to more collaboration with the European side because of the direction of Six of Swords. So yeah, I think in the short run, the Magician energy is more about self-defense, but in the long run, it will turn into a recovery mode. Yeah, but there might be more collaboration between the Europe and the US, but the downside is when you outsource something out there, they bring people away. So it's a cautionary note that we have to consider. I want to know in the long run, in general, would the Magician energy be a positive or a negative one? Okay. Remember, we see it again. This Magician energy is a tactic or a way to keep things in the past. So Four of Pentacles is about the past. These two cards, they are actually in the position of foreign governments, how they see us. In the long run, the Magician energy will lead to Eight of Swords. So that means whatever the government will do now to tackle the employment situation, the long-term consequence will be fear and not wanting to see the limitations and not wanting to move away from the fear. And the fear is about the past stability. So this magician energy will manifest on a global stage of the image of this country will be fear of losing the past stability. And it's gonna take some time to recover. So right now I want to know, for the US public, even though we don't have the energy to we might not have to say about decisions made by the higher ups, how can we combat, or how can we deal with the magician energy in a positive way that will still bring us prosperity and stability? Revival, the judgment, the world, completion. So something we completed before, we need to revive that. The thing we need to revive, or we need to judge, well, judgment card can also mean being judgmental. So I would like to find out is judgment card pointing towards we need to be judgmental to the situation and the government, or do we need to revive, or something else? Okay, so in order to be safe, Knight of Pentacles, I would not point towards being judgmental to the government and the situation, because it is a minor arcana card, and it also means that things moving slowly and being practical. So I don't feel like judging the government would help. Is not the focus. Emperor star card is about renewal of the authority, the power. Hangman at the bottom. Do you remember in January we already have the hangman? Hangman, it can be surrender, it can be something that we sacrificed before, but now, in order to navigate through this magician energy, we have to be very grounded and be our authority and be in our own power to renew the things that we might have left behind. Like something we had before, some authority that we had before. we have to regain it, renew it, and heal it. Heal the authority. A rebirth of the healing, a rebirth and a healing of our authority. So it's also about getting things under control and nourish the situation in order to grow back something that we had before. So I would say in order to navigate through the magician energy, of course we have to understand that as the US collective, we have to understand that things that are being told to us by the government, or maybe the news, we don't have all the facts. As always, I don't think the government has all the facts too, because we all have our blind spots. But the direction to navigate through the confusion and possible magician energies in a negative way is to gain back the authority of something we left behind. So I can think about something. What does the hangman pointing towards and the emperor and the star card pointing towards? Is it about some industry that we left behind before? Is it something else? Something else. Six of Wands, the Sun card. Okay. Is the Sun card about partnership? Something else? Okay. I would say we need to get back the clarity about what we sacrificed in the employment sector. Page of Wands is about employment jobs. We as the public, we have to understand in regards to employment in a general situation, what does the employment sector sacrifice before that leads to the need to create a magician energy to combat the situation. Our way to navigate through it is to know what we procrastinated before, gain the clarity about it, and take back the control. What do we need to take back to the control in order to heal the situation and to navigate through the magician energy positively but not negatively as a collective? Is it, what I can think about is something that we left behind. Is it about the union or other? I feel like there is something about the union. Because right now we're talking about job. Eight of Pentacles is about job, is about working. Nine of Cups means wish fulfilling. Someone who is in authority of a group. I intuitively think this person in the Nine of Cups means some form of leader, leader of the union, something like that, someone like that. Two of Pentacles means adaptability and also balancing the two sides of things. I believe that we need mediators between employers and employees. And again, because of Eight of Pentacles as a work card, and we're talking about employment, so I would omit Queen of Swords and Seven of Swords. However, I intuitively think someone in the authority who I believe she's a female and she has been through a lot in her life. She doesn't work in a way that cares about the others a lot. And she thinks her personal situation, personal history tells everything. And her rule will be very like an iron lady. We wouldn't feel any compassion from her. And very authoritative. Seven of Swords. It's kind of tricky. It's not being very honest. So what I can feel is, even though these two cards are not supposed to be focused on, because I was just trying to channel their energies. But what I'm feeling is, because Queen of Swords actually it pops up previously. Two scenarios. First scenario, there is something outside of the employment situation that is affecting our employment situation in this country, and this Queen of Swords energy and Seven of Swords energy might be something out of the country, or maybe something is not considered as directly related to employment, but they actually related to our employment. Second scenario is this person actually is an authority that can affect the employment situation and employment policy. However, I really don't know who is handling the department right now. I don't know if there is such a person, or will there be such a person. But we have to be very careful. If we know about this person, we have to understand that, yes, she has the power, and she also has the power to, kind of not being very honest about the situation, and trying to remove the rights of the workers, or try to leave things behind, because this person probably, when she was younger, she experienced problems about employment, and she doesn't feel like the benefits are important to the people, probably because she didn't get them earlier in her life, and she feels like, I can move through hardships. Why all you people cannot do it? Why all of you people wanting the benefits and want negotiations? So this person, she's very powerful, and she does not wear a mask in how to express herself. But the downside is she doesn't care about the emotions of the people. We the people, we have emotions. We are driven by emotions. And if we are facing such a person who only acts based on her past wounds, it's not going to be a happy situation. And if this person actually watching this video or somehow knows about this video, I hope you can understand that you're missing out something very important. And in the long run, it will come out. If you're creating a policy to boost the employment outlook to make it look better, don't miss out the details. Because if you miss out the details, it will come back in a bad way. Policymakers, I hope you can understand. So right now I would want to know, can unions be actually helpful? So the union can bring forth Swords energy. 3 of Cups. Union. The status of the unions. It will bring the peace and the harmony. 3 of Cups is harmony, and also 3 sides, 3 people. Employer, employment, union. 4 of Swords, peace. Will this peace be helpful in navigating through the Magician energy? Yes. Why? 6 of Pentacles is about being generous, is about helping. 2 of Cups is about cooperation. So even though the Magician energy can be trickster energy and it has the consequences of messing things up, we the people, how can we navigate through it is to work with each other in a peaceful manner, where people who are in a less prestigious level, the poor, feeling being helped, so they are not hopeless. So someone who is generous in giving the assistance. Remember, in January, the 6 of Pentacles is in the foreign countryside. So I believe that the employment policy of the US, there will be assistance that is coming through in January and February. And I believe that it can be related to unions and the laws that are related to the unions. But at the same time, the government would try to, be like a magician. So I feel like some of the promises being made, maybe that there are fine prints. Well, there are always fine prints. But whatever policies that are coming up, I would say we have to be very careful, and we have to understand the fine prints, and you know what, make people accountable for what they put in place. If they promise about it, they have to do it. We have to figure out a way to make it a promising thing, but not just a trickster energy. Okay. So, March 2024. What will be US monthly employment prediction? March 2024. So, in March, the US government position is 10 of Cups. It means fulfillment, happiness, family. It's a very positive card. I wonder if they are doing something related to family values and probably giving births. And would they be actually linking the employment to family planning? It's possible. And how we see it, we have the clarity. The Sun card is a card of the blessings. It's also about partnership. It's about happiness. Something comes to light. Well, I think it's a good thing, because paired with the 10 of Cups, I think it is generally a good thing. So in March, something is pretty good about the employment. And the foreign countries, they see us as the world. So we have completed a major thing in regards to employment situation. Probably there is a policy change that will impact the employment or related to employment, and it is being completed. Four of Cups energy means being indecisive, daydreaming, and not being fulfilled, or someone who has options. So I feel like even though something that is coming into the light and is pretty cool, but some things are still not completed, even though the government feels like, oh, it's completed, but there are people who are not satisfied. How we feel about the Sun card as the collective within the US? Are we gonna be happy about it? No. I don't think we're gonna be happy about it because it shows the lack. Page of Wands, employment. Something coming to the light about the employment situation that we feel the lack. We feel like something is missing. Some people who are poor, they are still poor. Why the government feels like 10 of Cups? Four of Cups again. Eight of Swords means fear, limitations. I wonder if there are some limitations about traditions and family matters that are actually hindering the policies about employments. But the government is trying to make some changes, but they have the options, but they're not satisfied with the options yet. So, clarify the 10 of Cups and 8 of Swords energy. Why the 10 of Cups? Why the 8 of Swords? Money. Money, 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 money. Page of Pentacles means news about money. And 10 of Pentacles is about money. Ten of Cups, happiness, family, traditions. 8 of Swords, interference. 10 of Pentacles, money. I wonder if it is, please clarify, is the 10 of Pentacles pointing towards the US currency? Or the wages? Something else. Okay. Once again, it is about the trickster's energy of the magician. I don't think it is totally directly related to the salary, but it can be a negative impact on the salary. When I asked about US currency, because Four of Pentacles is a pentacle card, so I feel like it might be related because Four of Pentacles has been quite prominent today. It's about preserving the status. Wheel of Fortune means change. I wonder what is about the Wheel of Fortune. Is it about the change of status of the US currency on a global scale? Or something else? Because Queen of Pentacles is a pentacle card. Please clarify. Is the Wheel of Fortune about the change of status of the US currency? Or something else? Okay. So I'm pretty sure that I feel like the situation is because something old and worn out will be demolished, and there will be a new beginning. But the new beginning comes with uncertainties, and some things are not very promising yet. And I'm quite sure that in the future, the shortcomings will come through. Just clarify, is the Tower energy about the US currency? Or something else? I feel like it's about the US currency. There's something old and the previous status of the US currency is changing, and people will feel like, oh, wow, what's gonna be next? There are so much uncertainties. The Fool card is about a brand new beginning. The Hangman is also about surrender and sacrifice and a sign of decrease. So I feel like there will be changes about the US currency, the dollar, this year, and somehow they will impact the employment situation. Okay, so let us go to April. April, United States 2024 monthly employment situation. Okay, so April 2024. The US government will feel like they need to use the wisdom of some sort in order to tackle the employment situation. But High Priestess is also about intuition, and probably they will move toward a direction that doesn't fully based on analysis, but they intuitively feel like it's going to this direction, so they will follow the intuition. Or it can be someone a female figure, or if we go towards a gender neutral path, it can be someone who is very intuitive, who has a lot of wisdom, and making some big moves about employment situation. We can, in April, we can see if there is such a figure in a government level who is proposing something significant about employment. Okay. How we feel about the employment situation in April is the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is about, it's all about business. And the King of Pentacles means money, money, money. And sometimes it's overwhelming money. But, King of Pentacles is about the employers. So can it be something about wages? Can be a concern in April. How the employer manages the salary and that type of stuff, and how foreign government sees it. I feel like Queen of Wands is about protection. I think the outer world will see our government is trying to protect our job sector. It's trying to be protective towards it. So probably the policy change in April on a government level is more about protecting domestic employment. There will be such a focus. Lovers means, usually they means cooperation, but sometimes there's also a choice to make. Since the High Priestess is a female, I mean, I can read it in a gender neutral way, but the Queen of Wands, I feel like, I just wonder if they are pointing towards a person in the government who is actually really female. Maybe already a mother who is making big decisions or actually having an impact on our employment. I wonder if that's the Queen of Swords energy. Let me see. Is this High Priestess or Queen of Wands? Are these two cards pointing towards the same person or not? Same person or not? I would say the same person. High Priestess, Queen of Wands, someone who is intuitively taking intuitive action in order to protect the employment sector within the country, and someone who is trying to tame the beast. Try not to explode the situation. Six of Pentacles energy. I think this figure in the government. They will try to be helpful to the people who are poor and who do not have a job or disabled. Okay, so now I would like to know if the High Priestess and Queen of Wands energy, as they are pointing towards one particular person, is this person the Queen of Swords energy who's linked to the Magician energy? Or not? Yes or not? Yes, not. Yes, not. Yes. Okay. April. If there is anything that is prominent, a prominent change or prominent direction change in regards to employment, we need to be aware because the Magician energy is there and the Queen of Swords energy is there, meaning there is a prominent figure who does not care much about how the others feel, who will just do their own thing because they feel like they have been going through enough to know what is the truth. They will make changes that are related to the employment sector. They will try to twist it or trick it into something looks pretty good, pretty damn amazing, but it might not have the ground for it. We have to be aware of it. So right now, I want to know if there is such a Queen of Swords figure. Is that person a female? Biological female? Biological male? Female. Male. Female. There's a female in April. The Queen of Swords energy. So what I can say is I'm 100% certain that there will be a female who's going to do something in April, and it will have a long-term effect for the employment sector. Please clarify this Queen of Swords energy. Queen of Swords energy. Is this Queen of Swords energy a US government official? Someone else? Government official. someone else. Okay. I can confirm that this Queen of Swords, prominent in April, U.S. government official, High Priestess. I want to know if this High Priestess, is she this High Priestess? Hierophant just want to pops up. She's not a young person. I don't think she's a young person. If she is not very old, she's very traditional. She is very traditional. If she's not old. Is she old? Or just young but traditional? Old, young, traditional. This female, she's not very old, but she is young and traditional. I want to know if this Queen of Swords High Priestess energy, is she actually the upcoming US president? Or some sort of government department head? Or someone in the Senate? Someone in the Congress? Upcoming president of the US? Senator? Department head? Congress? Congress. Upcoming president? Congressman? I think I feel like this woman, she can be, I feel like she's more like in the Congress side. But because the president side, okay, so I kind of divided into 4 stacks because I want to track where the energy is coming from. I feel like the energy is coming from the next upcoming president, but also the Congress. So can someone be president but also a congresswoman? I don't know. Is there someone like that? But I feel like it's more on the Congress side because magician, we're talking about magician. but because it's very prominent in the president's side, I feel like it's someone who closely works with the president, the upcoming president, but maybe not exactly the president, but a Congress woman. I have to clarify this. It's very interesting. Okay, please clarify for us. This High Priestess energy, this Queen of Swords energy, who will make an impact to the employment and who actually holds the Magician energy, is she the upcoming US president, or actually just a congresswoman? Because we need to know, is she exactly the upcoming US president or the congresswoman? Okay. I feel like it's a congresswoman. A congresswoman who actually worked very closely with the president, who will propose something that has a magician quality and that is actually being accepted by the president. Okay, I want to just clarify. In April, will there be a congresswoman actually propose something that has a magician energy and quality about it that will impact the employment of this country? Will there be such a person make such a move? Yes. Yes. I believe that there is something going on in Congress. Somebody wants to take the situation under control about poverty. Okay. So, if there is such a congresswoman who is the High Priestess energy and the Queen of Swords energy, who's gonna take action in April, is she the Democrat side, Republican side, independent, or actually something else? Democrat side, Republican side. I think she's the Republican side. But she's kind of independent too. This person, she's influenced by money, wealth, but is quite often quite hasty. Like she wants things to work out in the favor of business world quickly, drastically. Doesn't care if there will be a chaos, because she feels like it's necessary to sacrifice someone in order to gain the wealth, the prosperity. April, I want to know, will the Congress, what will be the dynamics of the Congress and the employment sector of the US? Okay. Remember, in April, Queen of Wands appears in the position of foreign governments. So someone in the Congress who will make news headlines, she is not happy about the growth and the money and the gains. Six of Cups, assistance, world completion, justice, adjustments, star, renewal. So I believe that the Congress will pass through something in April that will actually impact the employment situation. I wonder, because Six of Cups and world, they can mean assistance to completion, to completing something. And justice, definitely, it can be related to laws or an act or bill that is being passed, or actually it can be something that requires readjustments, a balancing act. So I wonder, would this major thing be an ending of benefits to the poor, or actually a new assistance to the employment sector, or something else? I feel like it's about some form of protection is coming to an end. Some sort of funding is coming to an end, I feel like. Because even though I sort of want to use these two cards as indicators, but I feel like they're telling me some story. Is it about the funding towards the wars happening in foreign lands? Okay, I want to know this Empress energy. Is it about funding towards the domestic or foreign? Or both? I feel like actually there might be a spending cut coming up. Okay, so April, I want to clarify. Is it about, and I'm sorry that if you're just looking towards the employment situation, I kind of extend towards this question because I really want to know more. I think we need to know more. In April, will the Congress actually make decisions to cut spending or expand the spending. Yeah, I think there would be a spending cut. Taking action. Yeah. So how we as the US collective, how will we see the Congress move in April? Is it about cutting foreign aids? Or do we feel about it's about cutting aids for the US public? Or something else? Or actually both? I think it's about foreign aids. But anyway, the question I just asked, I'm kind of a little bit confused, but I feel like there will be a budget cut coming through in April, and I think it will come through from the Congress first, from a quite strong and tough woman who is not very old, and she is, she has her point of view. She thinks that we have to be very careful about the spending. I think she's more the Republican side, but we also have to understand that the action will have a quite profound impact on the US employment in the long run, somehow. And we also need to know that something is, it might be kind of tricky in the fine print, and in the long run, we will know what is that. And I do see for the employment market, it is crucial to very focus in April, because there is a significant change that will have a profound impact for a long run. So right now we'll talk about the month of May. So the May employment situation, US employment situation, May. Okay. When I see these cards, I can see tough times, because the government, US government, they think, oh, hangman is about delays, stagnation, procrastination, and generally it's about a decrease in employment. Four of Swords, we see it as the public. It means it can mean peaceful. It can mean maybe there are some negotiations outside of the employment sector. Something is still ongoing, but it's not coming into fruition yet. And some people are just waiting and contemplating. It also doesn't signify growth, because of needing to take a pause when waiting for something, and something needs to rest. I wonder, is it about the working hours thing? But anyway, the strength card from foreign lands. Foreign lands. It's very clear. It's about the policy change. Something about the employment sector, a very rebellious situation, and the government is trying to tame the situation or tame the people, so people would work. I think, like the Hollywood writers, they had a protest has been going for months. I think it can be related to people feel like they need to take back their power. But at the same time, Eight of Swords is about fear and limitation. So there is a situation in the U.S. job market, in the U.S. society, actually creating interference about the employment situation. So I want to know, why the Four of Swords? Okay. The woman figure who has the authority to say something. Things come to a head from this woman in April. And in May, the US public feels like it is an interference about the employment situation. The people feel fear about the change, the policy change. Why we the people feel fear? Why the Eight of Swords? Five of Pentacles, Knight of Wands. Five of Pentacles means the lack, poverty. Knight of Wands means movement. It means being experimental. And something very hasty. Something very experimental, hasty, and we are fear about it. Why the Knight of Wands? Page of Swords. Someone is making decision based on not being fulfilled, and they try to do it in a very logical way. Very logical way to impact the employment situation. How do US government feel about the change? King of Wands, passion. Ten of Wands, pressure, burden. So I think the government is quite passionately pushing forward something that would impact the employment. What's the nature of this King of Wands? The nature. Judgment. Six of Wands. Wanting to revive something, to revive a victory. Does the US public feel like it's gonna be a victory? I feel like in May, the government really wants to take back the control and revive something they think they have been losing, and then this is related to the employment situation, and the US public will feel the pressure about it. They will talk about it and feel burdened about the change and the announcement by the government. And the outer world will feel like, oh, the US employment situation is undergoing some tough situation where people with rebellious nature are coming up, and then or maybe just there is a situation that needs to be tamed and be handled very carefully with patience. I still believe that in April there will be a policy change that will impact through May. Okay. June 2024. What will happen to US employment situation? Okay. The government itself, the US government, is needing to make a choice and contemplating about the options. Like they have been through something, and it reaches to a point where they need to reflect and see what can be done next. I think the policy change that happens and being announced during April or May, there will be progress that moved through pretty quickly. And in June, the government has to make a choice and to also think about the situation thoroughly, and how we, the general public, will see it as getting help and assistance. Six of Pentacles energy is about help and generosity. Maybe the companies or the employers are being more generous to the poor. And foreign governments, foreign lands will see our employment situation as problematic. Page of Swords. Something needs to be sought out. Yeah, Page of Swords means problems. Hierophant means traditions, and can also mean education too. But I feel like it's more about traditional side of things. Okay, so clarify. Six of Pentacles energy. Why the Six of Pentacles? Is it about an agreement between employers and employees? Or is it about government assistance? Or something else? Or both? Okay. I feel like it's not about the employer being generous, but the government is a government assistance thing. Okay. So in June, will the government assistance to the public decrease or increase? US government assistance to the public increase or decrease? In general. Okay, sure. High Priestess energy at the bottom. The Queen of Swords energy is very prominent, and the High Priestess energy is very prominent in June. She is taking action to reduce the funding for the public assistance. So because the government is cutting the funding, because of the cutting of the funding to the public, definitely there will be a change in employment situation. So people need more work now. So whatever things being proposed in April or even earlier than April, it will manifest in June as a reduction of funding to the public. July 2024 July US employment situation prediction. Okay, so in 2024 July, the US government will see the employment situation as justice is about balance. Something comes into balance. Maybe something out of balance before it comes into balance. And how we, the US public, would see it as a new beginning, but it's also about something unknown. Well, actually, I think in January, because remember that in January, we had the full card in the general public, and now in July we have it again. So I would feel like I would ask if it is something that is linked to January, or is it linked to something else? Something I will ask. How the foreign government sees it, the employment situation in the US, is about Six of Pentacles. Previous month, the Six of Pentacles is in the general population. So I feel like June or July, it's the government spending, the funding cuts, the funding issue will continue towards the July time frame. Yeah. Okay. Two of Wands. Okay, so something the US government contemplating in June, making a choice. I do believe that in July, the contemplation will complete, and justice will, it means just a balancing act. So something, if you see something that is happening in June, probably about a readjustment, in July it will be completed. Okay. So for the full card, I would like to know, is it directly related to January, the full card in January, or something else? Okay, now I'm pretty sure that that's the fact that something we feel about the employment situation in January, some discussions that happened in January, actually it will come into power in July. So it takes half a year to culminate. You see? So I feel like in January, we already get a glimpse of it. But it takes a couple months to really go into effect. And the strength card, again, is about taming the beast. It's taming a situation that is pretty difficult to deal with, and from the beginning of this year, the difficult situation will continue towards July. Okay. In August, 2024 August, what will be the US monthly employment situation August 2024? Okay. Well, again, the government position is Two of Wands, so I feel like two scenarios. The first one will be, as I said before, in July, something the government contemplated during June has already culminated. And this will be a new choice that the government needs to make regarding to the employment situation. Or scenario 2, in June, the thing that the government is contemplating is still contemplating in August. And July, the justice in July is only about something major readjustment, but the choice has not been made. So probably something about the employment situation or the job situation, it takes longer than expected. So it can go both ways. Two of Pentacles, we see it as adapting and I remember Two of Pentacles happened before. I think it is related to the union. And someone, you know, the middleman between the employer and the employees, that sort of thing. Anything. I mean, anyway, it will be balancing of two sides, but it can also mean money. So, Three of Cups, foreign lands, they think we are reaching a happy place so that three sides come together and celebrate. I feel like it's about employee, employers, and the middleman. It's about the union. Ten of Pentacles. Money. Is it about the wages? Let me see. Okay. Is this Two of Pentacles pointing towards the union? Or some things related to union, but not exactly union. Something else. Okay, it's about the union. The star card. It's about the union. Eight of Wands. Quick development about unions. And is a renewal of unions in August. Okay. Just want to clarify a little bit. I want to say in August, how do the union workers in the US feel, how they feel in August? Oh, okay. 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 So, in August, there will be a win of the union workers that comes pretty quickly. It's kind of experimental, and there are cooperations and blessings. Blessings. Okay. I want to know if this is such a good thing. Everything has a flip side. And I want to know what is the good side of this thing and what will be the downside. Okay. So, the good thing is about emotionally, people will feel better. You know, union workers, they will feel better. The downside, money and prosperity. And Five of Swords, you know, it's losing a battle. Why? Can you imagine why? I'm thinking, I don't know if you still remember the magician energy in the long run, I mentioned that it's possible that there will be an outsourcing of work towards the other countries and some people who are leaving the countries. To the Europe side or maybe just overseas. Is it because the raising of wages in the US, the increase of benefits? Okay, need to clarify this. So, the things that make union workers feel happy in August, is it about the increase of wages, the increase of benefits? Well, or something else. This includes benefits, so something else. Something else. So it's not about the wages. So what's the tower about? What's the tower about? Okay, so the union workers feel happy about something pretty emotional. The King of Cups, it can be about creativity and entertainment business. Victory. Two of Wands, making a choice. High Priestess, Six of Pentacles. Remember this person? I said she will take action about the employment thing. But she's about gains. I think she will do something looks like she's helping, like helping the union workers. But maybe in fact it's not. But it looks like it is. At the end, there will be a losing of someone is losing, someone is winning. So I want to know if this Five of Swords is about. Is it about someone in the authority who is not favorable by the workers, who is being defeated? Or is it leading to the loss of the industry, even though there is a win for the union? Will that become a loss for the industry? Something else. I feel like I want to dig into it. I want to know in August, will the Union actually win the battle? It's wounded. 3 of Pentacles. Maybe something it's 9 of Wands is about someone feeling wounded and vulnerable. And 3 of Pentacles, discussion. Wounded. 10 of Cups, King of Swords, Fool, 4 of Wands, 5 of Pentacles, 7 of Swords. I feel like maybe at the Union side they will allow the compromise because of family pressure, and they feel like they have to be logical. Have to sacrifice some of the concerns. But on the outside world, they will see that as a win. So I want to know in August, if there is a victory, will that be the High Priestess victory more, or actually the Union workers more? Wow, I think that woman is actually they will force the policy to go through, and once again it's about monetary gains. King of Pentacles is still about the employer. How the union workers will feel about the situation in August. Discussion, judgment, announcement. Discussion about an announcement that comes with some problems. Necessary sacrifice, 7 of Swords. Fear, interference, 7 of Wands. Defending boundaries, 6 of Wands. I think the union will get some form of victory, but definitely they have to come with a compromise. But they need to defend some boundaries. Yeah. Will the union workers in August be generally satisfied about the situation? The world card shows up, so I feel like no matter what is a completion. Wow. They still feel the fear because something is being stolen and taken away. 7 of Swords energy, 8 of Swords. Something is not being very honest in the process, but have to accept. So, how can the union workers positively navigate through this? Even though it doesn't sound like perfect. What can bring a healing? Talk about it, discuss about it, contemplate about it. Talk about this female who put these policies. Okay. So I think the union workers will feel very worried because, that female who is involved in the negotiation, probably Congress-related woman, she will point out to them that, okay, if you continue to do this, your family life will suffer. And then that will make the union workers feel very desperate and not sleeping well. So, and it's also about Queen of Pentacles at the bottom. She is someone who cares about his own earnings and his her accomplishment, and is about self-sufficient, self-reliance. It's about protection. So I think the stability is a huge theme for the union workers. And the negotiator, she knows. So if the union workers feel like let down by the compromise of this time, will there be a better time to fight back or to renegotiate for a better deal? Yes. Okay. So here's the thing. The workers who are not satisfied in the August settlement, the younger ones, Page of Wands, the younger ones, who feel wounded in the process or in the future, they will come into power. One day, they will strike back, and it will be a disruption of the administration, the authority, and it will be revolutionary and Wheel of Fortune, major change. Okay, so I hope policymakers, when you see this, try to consider the feeling of the people. Don't pressure them. If we don't want the upheaval, what's the universe message to government officials and the universe message to the union and the union workers? Okay, so the universe message for government officials, it is the Ace of Wands, which means opening up to new ideas, new beginning, removing obstacles, and something is brand new, is not before. So if some policies that are based on previous generations and previous tactics, if you use it again, it's gonna backfire. So use something totally brand new. And then for union workers, Three of Swords mean unhappiness, sorrow of poverty. There is a need to turn loose of the sorrow of the lack. So these two cards, combining them, I would think the government needs to open up to new ideas, and the union has to turn loose of some of the sorrow of the scarcity and the lack. Okay. If the government allows new ideas, what will that lead to? If the union turns loose of the scarcity and the sorrow about the scarcity, if they turn loose of that feeling, what will happen? Okay, so we look at the world and the High Priestess first. The world and the High Priestess is about uniting with the High Priestess energy, which is probably not the most emotional person, and but the union workers will know that there is a need to compromise and to work with this person, because at some point the union workers will turn loose of the feeling of scarcity. So there is some help. The Ace of Wands will lead to the help. So basically it's repeating the messages. I'm trying to see if the universe is telling the collective how to avoid future upheaval. Well, in this way, because it's still pointing towards the solution in August, the compromise. So I think these cards, they are just representing in the future. In the future, there will be younger people who feel wounded in the process. When they come into power, they will have a revolution. And there will be a big fight between the authority and the younger ones. So I want to know, for these fights in the future, will the younger ones win, or will the authority win? Will both win? Okay, so it's becoming very, very interesting. So this left, I'm asking, will the victory be in the younger people side, the union side, or the worker side? The middle one, I'm talking about government side. The right side, both. This one is other. See, High Priestess again. Two of Cups, cooperation. So, in general, the outcome will still involve the same woman, the same person who is the policymaker. Who is actually leading towards the August settlement. And in the future, finally, there will be more money and prosperity. So I feel like because the high priestess is on the right-hand side is about the win of both sides. So I don't think August will be the final settlement, but in the long run, okay, let me rephrase it. In August, it's possible there will be a final settlement. And if it is the final settlement of some sort, that will be the winning for both sides. And it will be the money. But if it's not this time, in the long run, the revolution will happen in the long run, later times. So, let me see. So I want to clarify. Does it mean the settlement in the August time frame? Is it the final settlement of this matter in the upcoming future? Or is it requiring another upheaval? Is it final? Or requires another upheaval? Okay. I think it's final. Yeah. So I feel like August, there will be a compromise. Yeah. And there will be definitely money involved. Yeah. But I still want to dig into the fact that I do see the upheaval of the younger people. Is this pointing towards this time or future times in history? Okay. These two, Page of Wands, Queen of Swords, they come up again, and the High Priestess energy is on the right hand side. So I feel like I still think August will be a major settlement, but in the future, there will still be another time that might be similar. I have that feeling. Because when we talk about the magician energy, something is about creativity, is about making something out of nothing. And I think the ground that being laid this year is shaky ground. It's not very stable. In the future, something will come up, and you know what happened. People need to mend things if things don't work out, but we all do sometimes. Okay, let's go to September now. September US 2024 monthly employment situation. Okay, so in September, the US government will feel like it's a completion of something. And I think it's about the union. Again, it's about the union. Something finally coming to fruition. And the public will see the employment situation as the star card. So the star means a renewal, harmony. But the foreign government will feel like something is still lacking. I think the foreign lands will still feel like something is not being fulfilled in the process. Probably it's coming from the countries who have better human rights, or maybe they just feel like something is still out of balance. King of Pentacles in the bottom, so still pretty much very about money and earning the profits. Money comes first. That's the feeling. So since the left two cards, they are pretty positive, and the others has a different perspective. So I would like to dive into the Four of Cups. Why the Four of Cups? Two of Pentacles. Queen of Swords. So again, this prominent female, she appears and paired with the Two of Pentacles, meaning that someone is trying to have a balancing act and try to navigate through both sides to be the mediator. I think it's about a union. So I want to know, since looks like there will be a settlement in August about the union and whatever the job situation in the US is, how foreign investors would see this. Domestic investor. Foreign investors will feel like they are gaining victory. Domestic investor feel pressured. Okay, so I want to know, will this August settlement bring more jobs, more opportunities to the domestic, or actually to the outside? Okay, so I think foreign investors they will probably bring in more opportunities to the US because of the settlement. But for some reason, there is a dynamics that domestic investor will feel like pressured, but the foreign investor will feel victorious about the situation. And job-wise, it will be kind of, I think, kind of positive for this country. Because Page of Swords is about being logical, and Nine of Cups, I think it's about, once again, it's about the union, and wishful thinking, wish coming true. The Ten of Swords and Ace of Cups, just meaning that the jobs are not going overseas, but for overseas investors, I think there's something good for them in place. Yeah. Okay, let us talk about the October 2024 US employment situation. Okay. Okay, October, the government will see the employment situation as the emperor. So things are under control now. How the public will see it? The Fool. So the Fool has been coming up like the third time for the public. So basically, I'm pretty sure that there are a lot of new beginnings for us as the public in regards to employment situation. But at the same time, we need to be aware that there are many things that we are not sure because there are new beginnings. So we can maintain our optimism about new beginnings, but at the same time be very careful because there are unknown situations that can be possibly coming up later on. So it's a 50-50. The outer world will see us within the nation. Two of Cups, cooperation, harmony. So the working situation, the job situation is getting better. So probably that's why foreign investor would allow themselves to invest more into the US because they do see the future profits. Knight of Swords being revolutionary, cutting through the problems. I think the union thing, it even though the agreement probably will reach during August, but it will take some time to really implement and to culminate. So I think in October, I think the changes will be implemented in different stages, not just once, but they can be implemented in different stages. So it is a process. Will that be a major agreement made in the August time frame and then there will be little agreements made afterwards? Is it a plan that will put into place one by one after another? I feel like it is a process. So yeah. Why the Fool card? Conflict. conflicts about surprise, disruptions. So in October, something out of the blue, and the tower is about disruption, and we do feel conflicting about it. Huh. Is this Five of Wands pointing towards the terms negotiated by the union, or something else? Not the union, but something else. Hierophant. Hierophant is about something traditional. Something traditional being in conflict with something traditional. Is this Hierophant? Oh, okay. Well, I remember when I was doing the financial reading previously, the Hierophant was pointing towards something about probably the US currency or the banking. Will this Hierophant be pointing towards the banking system, the US currency, something else? Oh. Okay. I think October something will come up with the US currency. Which is a surprising nature. And it can affect our lives. Yeah. The banking is the star card. So probably, okay. The tower card is 16. Star card 17. Something might happen in regards to the US currency in October 2024 or sometime around that time that will lead to the banking system has to pour in the resources in order to heal the situation. How the government see this situation? Three of Swords. Okay. The US government is not happy about the US currency situation in October. It's hurting, it's painful. Seven of Cups. Trying to figure out what to do. It's kind of sticky. Okay. I want to ask the universe, the most loving energy from the universe, if we want to be successful, what can the US government focus on during October about the currency situation? What would be the best approach? So everybody's gonna be happy. And we, as the collective in the US, what can maintain our optimism of life and okay. It's best for the government to be very logical about the situation. And for us, the collective, Five of Swords, Five of Pentacles, it means losing a battle, and then there's a kind of lack and poverty, scarcity thinking. Three of Pentacles. People's gonna talk about it in August. It will be a major thing that is being discussed. Okay, universe, seems like for us, the US public will feel like it's a bad thing. What's the silver lining that we should focus on? The silver lining is about Two of Swords. It's about making a decision, sometimes maybe indecisive, but it's also about peace. Peacemaking is a compromise, a decision that leads to peace. Page of Wands, making decisions about job and career. I think some people, they might need to switch jobs. The changing in job environment. I feel like the change would be drastic, so brace the impact. What can the US public gain victory in this situation? What can lead us to victory? Four of Wands, Page of Swords. Okay, so we have to be very clear about the problems of our family and homeland, our security. So the sense of security has to be heightened in order to reach victory and success. Like right now, we have to ask ourselves, are we on solid grounds about many things? Are we on solid grounds of our housing situation? So, be careful about housing situation. Yeah. Because of Four of Wands, I have to branch off and talk about in October what will happen to the housing market of the US. October 2024. October 2024 housing market. Okay. Nine of Pentacles, gains. Four of Pentacles, stability. Five of Swords, losing a battle of financial stability. Ten of Cups, Emperor. Happy family, fulfillment, government, administration. Queen of Cups. Energies shifting, emotional. But there's assistance. So I do feel like that there is instability but there's also help. However, people will feel emotional about it, even though there's help. So, housing situation. Be aware. Make sure you have a good relationship with your landlords and roommates or whatever. Okay. November, U.S. monthly employment situation. Okay. So, in November 2024, the U.S. government's feeling is Queen of Wands is a protective energy. It has to protect something about the job situation and employment of the country. So, how we see the situation is about Six of Pentacles, someone being generous about the poor, or maybe needing assistance. Six of Swords means perceived by the foreign lands, foreign governments sees. Moving towards the Europe, or it can also mean a sign of recovery. I don't know, something is related to the magician energy. Can that be? I'm still thinking. I don't know if the magician energy is actually just policy change or something that impacts the employment situation, or is it about an attack of some trickster? Huh. But anyway, Ten of Swords at the bottom means something is coming to end, and I feel like it's more like a recovery period after the shakeup in September, October. Let me see. Clarify Six of Swords. Is it about the U.S. currency crisis or shakeup? Something else? Yes. U.S. currency shakeup. And again, this High Priestess energy, I feel like someone from a Congress or whatever, someone in power, she made some decisions that actually shakes up the US currency. That's how I feel about it. People feel emotional about it. Okay. Clarify Six of Pentacles. Are we feeling like the need of help, or actually receiving the help? Looks like both ways. So if the U.S. collective needs help in regards to employment situation in November, are we gonna get it? Something's still coming to an end. There's some sort of defeat. I think people will start looking for jobs. There might be a lot of job changing in November because there is a big shift in that time. Six of Wands, about movement and victory. A defeat and victory. Victory and defeat. What's the victory about? Poverty. Page of Swords. I feel like there's a major victory and a defeat in November. But for some reason I don't feel like I get it. I don't really get it. What is that? Because it's kind of contradicting. When the Ten of Swords happens with the Six of Wands, so there is one side that is winning, but one side that is losing. So as the US collective, about the employment situation, do we feel like we are winning or losing in November? Nine of Cups. King of Swords. There are wishes coming true, but Five of Cups is disappointment and people talk about it. Is this about union? Okay, let me try to clarify. November, for the US collective, something we feel very strongly about the employment situation and the disappointment and the wish. Is it about union or something else? I think once again, because of the High Priestess energy, I still feel like this woman is having a profound impact in November about the employment situation. I feel like some government decision this year might actually go into a direction that is doesn't sound very good. Anyway, I'm sorry. I don't feel like I have the clarity for November. It's just looks like something big is happening, and it's just lingering, and people are kind of confused at that time. Okay, let me see. How foreign lands in November 2024 will look at the US situation. I'm talking about general situation. Okay. So, lovers, union, page of cups, emotions, younger people, 10 of cups, family, death, transformation, hierophants, older people, older generations, older systems, the ending of the old, 10 of Pentacles, money. So I feel like in November, the foreign countries will take a very close attention to the money in the US and be very logical about it. November 2024, what's happening with the US currency? Okay, Ace of Wands at the bottom, because of a new beginning. The dollar value will decrease and it will cause sadness and sorrow. People leaving it behind. Eight of Swords, fear, limitation. Seven of Cups, things are up in the air, needs to be sought out. And also daydreaming. So something is very stuck. I think the dollar is not in a good position in November 2024. Let us put it that way. Okay. So as always, I mean not always, but in this case, what will be helpful for policymakers to understand the situation, to navigate it through, so we can have a good result as a country? Ace of Swords, King of Cups, Six of Wands, Magician, Three of Swords, Five of Pentacles. Okay, so for policymakers, the universe message is about previously someone took action. A King of Cups, I think this king may be one of the prominent policymakers we had or we have, who is quite generous and probably overly generous, even though he gains the victory and support from the others. That someone is not being honest. Magician. This person tries to make something out of nothing. And this trick is gonna backfire, which leads to sorrow. And which leads to poverty and the ending. I think it is about money. Someone wants to be a magician, but magic is magic. It's not the truth. Okay, I want to know December 2024. What will be the US monthly employment situation December 2024 that we need to know? Okay. December, things look a little bit better because we get some vibrant colors. The government will see the situation as needing to sacrifice something, or they might actually be missing something in the big picture. Or they're trying to be strategic about things. So, for the general US public, Queen of Pentacles, this person is about self-sufficiency, self-reliance, consolidating the resources that they have. They don't care too much about the outer world. Nine of Pentacles, how the foreign land sees us. Well, Nine of Pentacles is about gains. It's about gains and self-reliance, financial independence. Since it is Nine of Pentacles, it's not Ten of Pentacles. Probably previously we were Ten of Pentacles, but because of the shake-up, we might lose one of the Pentacles. It's possible, but we still have our ground. Six of Pentacles, assistance. Help is on the way. Why the Queen of Pentacles? Page of Cups, some good news about money. Why the Seven of Swords? About money. King of Swords. So, there will be good news for the public about money. But in the government side, there will be some hidden agendas or some sacrifice about the money matters. But for the public, it will be a good news. So, in this case, in general, will the money matter? destabilized in December in the US. It's coming to an end. Ten of Cups. Something is coming to an end and being transformed at the end of this year. I think it is a process of transformation is happening. As we all know, Pluto's transit is, the US is overcoming a Pluto return. So our values and including our currencies will go through transformations. And probably this year it will be a climax. Okay. So in this case, we as a nation, I would like to ask for the universe about the message, a loving message for this country and the people of this country to face this difficulty. How can we strengthen ourselves and go through with it with victory? Okay. In order to gain the victory in this unstable time, Emperor means administration, the authority needs to look back at old times, study the history, and then make changes about the Page of Wands, the employment situation. And the world is about uniting. Lovers, meaning cooperation. Queen of Cups, emotions. Being compassionate. And the feelings in general. The Moon card is also about feelings, subconscious. So I think as a collective level in this country, deep inside our psyche, for people who are living in this country, who are born in this country, who are from this country, who grew up in this country, we're connected with the psyche and the emotions that are pushing us to change on a fundamental level. And I do believe that this can be very emotional, but it is also necessary because of the change. It will bring back a lot of humanity to the US public and remembering the importance of helping each other out. And to cooperate with the others, with the others in our lives. And that's the beauty of the situation, of the shake-up. I want to know this cooperation that will bring us back to success in this time. Is it more about domestic or foreign or both? Well, I feel like it's more about domestic. It's like people helping each other out within the country, and it's a revival of the spirit of the people of the America, that we have to help each other out. We have to be compassionate towards each other in turbulent times, in upheavals. So I think it is really aligning with the Pluto transit of remembering what values this land was found upon. Is about freedom, is about escaping the control, and actually, is a revival of the past values that we might be forgetting because of all the developments in the past decades. But because of the upheaval, people remember, or because people need to remember where they come from and how they built this country, they lead to an upheaval, a shake-up. So this is the message from the universe to all of us in this country, or maybe beyond this country, that we have to help each other out and focus more about domestic life and personal relationships with people who are close to us. And I would like to pull a card for people who feel fearful about the situation. What's the universe response or the message to the people who feel fear right now about the shakeup? Four of Pentacles, consolidating the resources. Empress, nurturing, is about agriculture, is about food. I think is about consolidating and stabilizing the necessities. So make sure that even though times can be unstable, but you have your health, you have your food, you have your housing, then you are in a good place. So I think this is the reading I want to give today. I know it's pretty long, but I think it's worth it. So next time, wow, I still have to figure out what I'm gonna talk about next time. If you have any comments, please leave it below, and if you want to know more about some particular things, I will ask the universe if I should talk about them, and I might or might not talk about them, but you can, feel free to let me know. If you like the channel, please subscribe. If you like the video, please give a like, and I really appreciate your time in watching these videos. Thank you for your patience, and again, Happy New Year. Take care.